Britain had been a part of the Roman Empire since it was conquered between 41 and 87, but parts of it were never fully pacified, and parts of it were a continuous drain on Roman finances. In the early 400s, the Romans pulled out of Britain entirely, as epitomized in the Emperor Honorius sending a letter to the British telling them to, quote, look after their own defense. But is this really what he meant? And is that really who it was sent to? The letter in question, as relayed to us in the writings of the historian Zosimus, was directed to the citizens of, quote, Britia, which has traditionally been understood to mean Britannia, Britain. But there is another argument for what this piece of evidence actually means. In the early 400s, the Visigoths repeatedly attacked Italy and laid siege to Rome 3 times, with a sack happening after the third siege in 410. And after the Visigothic king, Alaric, died, his brother-in-law, Adolf, took over, and for 2 years, between 410 and 412, the Visigoths attacked and burned southern Italy. Zosimus writes about Honorius' message right after he tells us about the Goths ravaging Italy, so it was suggested in 1975, in Western Aristocracies and the Imperial Court, a book written by historian John Matthews, that Britia actually refers to the Italian region of Bruttium. But at the same time, Zosimus also tells us that around this period the British threw out the Romans, and we also know that the British coast was attacked by Saxon pirates around this time as well. And therefore, this has usually been understood as the period when Saxons started to be employed as mercenaries by Romano-British aristocrats, and when they began to migrate along with the Angles and the Jutes into Britain. The idea that Britia refers not to Britannia but to Bruttium has never been successfully challenged enough to fully do away with the idea, and although it was attacked in 1977, the proposal remains an interesting interpretation of some of the limited evidence for this period of history, and what it potentially means for wider Roman foreign policy in late antiquity.